Namaste, everyone. Today I'm coming to you with a short sequence of exercises to lubricate the hip joints. So let's go and start right away. I put a blanket on top of my mat so I can slide on it. And the first thing that we're going to do is to come onto our backs. And from here, as I release the whole body onto the mat, and I release the bones, sensing any sensations here, tingling, pulsing in the body. I'm going to start very gently by bringing my right leg out into the Baddha Konasana shape, then slowly lifting the knee towards the midline, letting the knee drop over, crossing the midline, and then with that internal rotation, letting the leg re-extend towards the end of the mat. And then again, opening the leg with the knee bent out to the side, bringing it up, crossing the midline, over, and then back again. I'm going to do a few like these, letting the joint slowly start activating more, and you may hear snapping sounds or clicking, which is very normal as we awaken the joints. Good. One more on this side. The idea is actually to go slow. I'm just doing a short tutorial so you can use these for your advantage, right? But the idea is I'm going to switch into the other leg, is to go really slow. And in this version of the exercise, I'm keeping my foot all the time grounded on the mat. Sliding the knee up, then pressing into the sole of the foot, going into the internal rotation, and re-extending. And again. And slowly re-extending. I'm going to add two more. Slowly. And re-extending. And one more. Good. Then releasing, taking a deep breath in. And out. Good. Now I'm going to do something similar, but with a little bit of a change. I'm going to, again, draw the right knee towards the side, but this time I'm going to let the foot stay aerial, so I'm letting the foot be off the mat, and I'm creating that rotation with the knee coming over to the other side, and then back down. So the foot is staying all the time off the mat, but I'm going to try and create the same rotations that I did before. So I'm going first with the external rotation, bringing the knee up towards the chest, then internal rotation, crossing the midline, then back out, and out, in, over, and down, and one more. And then I reset that foot, releasing the leg. And this you can add as many repetitions as it feels beneficial for you, okay? So now I'm going with the other leg. I'm lifting the opposite foot, and I'm going with that rotation. It's like if I'm taking my knee to the 3 p.m., the noon, the 6, right, the 9 and the 6. So I'm going all directions, going in, crossing the midline, down and out, and again. Good. Then I'm putting that foot down, extending the leg, taking a breath, pausing in between the exercises. Then I'm going to bring both knees towards the chest, and I'm going to do the same. This time I'm going to try and opening the arms to the sides, take the knees together towards those 4 points. And I'm going slow, so I'm really also getting into the lower back. And you'll feel possibly the activation in the groins. Going one way a few times. These are exercises that are really good for the lower back as well. The hip joints are comprised by 5 group muscles. So gluteal muscles, lumbars and hamstrings. So there's a lot of groups there that when we activate, we are oiling, like I said, lubricating the whole hip joint. And then I'm switching, going the other way. We are also activating inner line of the legs and outer line connected to liver, gallbladder. I'm going one more. Good, and then releasing both knees down, taking a deep breath in, deep breath out. Good, then I'm going to let both knees drop to one side, trying to open up the chest and externally rotating the arms, mainly stretching the arm that is opposite to the side where I sent my knees, and then returning, then slowly going the other way. So both knees are dropping one way and the opposite arm is externally rotating, and I'm trying to stretch that side. And then coming back to center, dropping both knees one way, opposite arm externally rotates, opening up a little bit more in the back, lower backs, arching, returning, and then going the other way. Good, one more, each side, dropping the knees, extending with the external rotation, trying to bring that palm down, coming back, opposite side, rolling, good, and returning. Good, from here we'll add an exercise with the bell, so if you have one, bring it with you, keeping the left leg extended. I'm going to bring the opposite leg knee in, then I'm going to belt my right heel or the leg that you're choosing to go first up. We press through that heel, we try to tuck the toes and bring them towards the nose, and as I hold the belt, what I'm going to do here is to rotate the foot out and in. So it's not opening the leg, it's not that the action is to use or pivot into that hip joint, so the femur bone is playing right with that rotation into the socket. So I'm going with my toes out and then bringing them back, and if I can, taking them a little bit in, and then out again, and in, and out, and in, and one more. Good, and then from there, slowly, I'm keeping my opposite hand to help me ground the leg that is extended on the mat. Then I'm opening that leg out to the side. And I'm trying to keep the sitting bone of the leg, that is the aerial leg, moving down towards the opposite foot, the one that is on the mat. So I'm pushing there, trying to really activate the groin from that inner groin all the way to the inner heel. And then slowly returning. Good. And then bend the knee. Take that foot down, extend that leg. Give yourself a breath or two to reset. And notice the impact, the effect of that action in that side. Then I'm going to bend the opposite leg, putting the belt onto the heel, extending that leg. And I'm keeping the leg extended, activating the front muscles in the leg to open up the back. But mainly today, the work is from here to create more oiling and lubrication in the hip joint. So now I'm pivoting, right, onto that hip socket. So I'm taking my toes out towards the nose and in a few times. And you may feel some burning sensation in the inner groin, right in the inside, the inguinal area, or perhaps more into the gluteal muscles, one or two more like that. Good, and then holding that belt, same side of the leg, opposite hand on top of the hip. I'm going to go slowly opening that leg to the side. It does not have to go super far. I'm activating from the groin into the inner heel, really making that inner line of the leg be awakened and almost like hugging the bones. With that action of the leg moving out or staying out and pushing through the heel, I'm still trying to send the same side sitting bone towards the end of the mat. One more breath. You can stay as much as needed and then slowly returning with that leg, bending the knee, extending both legs. Take again a breath or two to notice. Good. Then from here, we'll bring both knees again towards the chest. And now with the hands, help the movement of the circling like we did before without the hands. Just a few times one way and then the other way. Good. Then from there, you can bring the feet down, opening the legs to the sides. And if you need support under the thighs, you can put pillows or blankets or rolled blankets in there. And just keep for a moment the legs like that. Let the legs drop without holding. Notice if there's the tendency for the brain and the body to hold the legs or the groins to contract there, and see if you can soften for a moment. Releasing that. Good. And then with your hands, bringing the legs together, rolling over to the side and pressing up towards the seat. Good. From here, we'll do one more. We are going to tuck the toes and we are going to bring the sitting bones towards the heels and open the knees a little bit. It's like coming into the child's pose, but I'm going to use this also activation for the legs. And I'm coming, again, like I said, making those sitting bones heavy, extending the arms. And from here, inhaling, opening the chest, lifting a little, then exhale. Inhaling, lifting through the sternum, trying to keep pushing the sitting bones back. Exhale. One more. Good. And then we slowly slide all the way on top of the blanket. And I'm going to keep my toes tucked so they are still pointing, right? The heels are pointing back and putting both my hands one on top of the other with the elbows wide. And from here, as I keep pushing through my heels, drawing the navel in, I'm going to inhale, lift the sternum. With the exhale, I'm coming down. My legs are really active. I'm still pressing through the heels. My thighs are off the mat. Again, inhaling. Exhale. One more. Inhale, keeping the legs active, drawing the navel in and up. Exhale. Good. Untuck the toes. Wiggle a little bit through the legs. Push yourself into the child's pose. Good. And then take your child's pose to one side, adding a side opener and a little bit of a twist. Drawing the navel in and letting the belly drop onto that thigh, the side that you went. And then slowly returning, going the opposite way, lifting the abdomen and dropping the torso, letting it rest there, stretching that right side or the side that you're going now, that opposite side, lengthening. Good. Then slowly back to center, walking back up, sitting back here, inhaling, arms up overhead. Lace the fingers, press through the palms, draw the front ribs in and down, stretching through the sides. One more breath. And then exhale and release. Namaste.